There was a mention of, is there a textbook? Yes, there are. Today, probably one of the most, popular, keywords for people who are in the entrepreneurial world or thinking of digital marketing would be searching for growth hacking, and you'll have, 1,000 ways to hack, 100 ways to hack, and things like that. The point is, there is no tried and tested way. Believe you me, there is no tried and tested way. You need to find your own. And I'll have 3 quick tips that I feel works you to guide you to the way you want to, hack your growth as you move forward. The first one is of being innovative. All this time we have been talking about, digital and the technology and the way it actually brings a whole new world to us, right? Right on your screen, you can actually go around the world. So 80 days is no more a challenge. It hasn't been a challenge for long, but probably in 8 minutes you can do that. The point is, you need to think beyond just digital. And that, I think, is one of the biggest things that in digital marketing one need to understand. Integrated communication. Now, how does people do it? I thought I'd share a couple of examples. Anyone have heard of this brand called Hopster? It's a British startup app, right? It's for kids TV, right? It's a kid educational program for 2 to 6-year-old kids, so it's an entertainment and education together and stuff like that. One of the most successful programs that they have done to make people download this app, right, is through something very interesting. And that brings us to an era that we have been talking of, right? So there was a time, like getting an email was a great thing, because all the time what we were getting stale mail. Today it has reversed for sure, right? But then the surprise that you had of that email in that era, today is there when you're actually getting a stale mail. And they use stale mail to create exciting engagement with parents, where they actually send them across some invites and gifts through the stale mail. All they needed to do was actually fill up a Google form from there to get a collected gift. There's a great engagement with the kids. They're very excited to see something coming to them in an era where you actually don't have that face-to-face interface. The big point that I want to make with this example is that when we talk about digital marketing, it doesn't mean the screens only. There's a world behind the screen as well, where we exist. So you need to figure out that what touchpoint works for you. It may be on the screen, or it could be off the screen. But it can actually help you, even if it's off the screen, right? The second point that I would like to bring in, and this is something which I personally feel is very important from a digital marketing point of view. Speak to anyone in a digital marketing context and they will tell you, you need to have these measures, that measures, you need to have how many clicks. Then they say, no, that's wrong and stuff like that. So if you try to look for, you go and talk to digital consultants, they will say you, yes, there's a plethora of measures that you need to have. Yes, you need to have all of them. But I think the most important thing is to identify what's relevant for you. This is something which maybe a lot of people know that, in Twitter, they say if there are 30 people that you start following, you would end up using it. Otherwise, you'll move out. You might have a Twitter account which is inactive. Facebook at one point of time used to talk about that, you need to have 10 friends in 7 days, week's time. There are Dropbox which started off saying that, okay, the most critical measure that I want to have is after downloading, have someone uploaded a file. If they haven't, they are not going to be continuing with that. So you need to figure out your own, right? I thought, any one of you can guess this brand for Uber. What they have identified as their most critical number or relevant measure. Any guesses? Any guess? What is it? What's that number? How many of you have used Uber? A lot of you. Great. What have been the most critical interface between you and Uber when you have tried to go forward? Pardon? Most critical. So you have downloaded the app, you have started using it, right? First ride. Okay. Pardon?
Email as well.
Emails? Okay.
So my Uber was was launched, so when Uber was launched, you were not entitled to pay that thing, the
Okay.
cash payment.
We'll come to that. The biggest thing that they have identified is that when you have booked your cab and you're waiting for it, right? You're always tentative, right? And that's true for any of these, taxi apps. And the most relevant measure that they have is that the ETA, which means expected time of arrival, need to be less than 3 minutes. If they have done that right, rest of this or something, of course they're important, I'm not saying. So you need to find for your business what is the most relevant measure that you would like to actually keep, checking again and again and again. And it will change over time. The third, so coming back to the point that you raised in terms of payment. So from Paytm to coming to cash today is a way where they have evolved their business model for the country where they felt that's going to help them better, right? So evolution is a process that's there, but you need to figure out a measure that's going to be the most helpful to take your business forward. And the last thing that I thought it's very important to share is, and this is something that I think any marketing book that you open, any marketing discussion that is there, you always keep talking about, but probably this is also the area which is the most abused and ignored in any business. And for an entrepreneur, it's all the more important. And here I'd like to share a story from my personal network. So let me put that up. How many of you are aware of this particular brand? As I said, the brand names that I take over here without any malice, right? I don't know when they're going to call for a pitch. The point is, it is supposedly the nation's largest e-grocer, right? And here is a Facebook post from one of my network friends, where he actually talks about how BigBasket hasn't been delivering the dinner that he had asked to deliver between 5 and 7:30. And this posting happened sometime around 8. There wasn't any interaction from BigBasket for a long time. Whenever he actually tried to call them up, whatever he got was a text message which is very old and structured, right? Automation. So there are challenges of automation as well. Then about 4 years later on that evening, while others started looking at it, it was a time when probably if you're at work, you're working, but still you'd like to check out what's happening in your social media world and stuff. A lot of people were looking at it and they were commenting. One of the investors, one of the serial investors, very well known, he actually is an investor in BigBasket. He got in, he started interacting and saying, I'm sorry, I'll try to rectify and stuff like that. But I don't know, he has been able to get this guy back or whether other people around. There is a parallel damage that happened as well. Now, this entrepreneur, Krishnan Ganesh, many of you might be knowing, I don't know him, but he runs other investments as well. So one of the other businesses or entrepreneurial initiative that he has is a medical or paramedical service, which is like physiotherapists and other things that don't require at home. Someone else started bringing that brand into this discussion, right? So see the effect that it actually can create, where one ignorance of a real issue might lead you to this series of things that can happen. Now you might say, is it possible to actually handle each and every one? There could be mistakes. The point is, you don't know which mistake is going to be costly for you. And that's what you need to keep focusing on. And to contrast this concept that many a time in India we have in terms of, I would like to put in the example of this company, right? How many of you heard of this, Rackspace? Many of you who are into the IT space will know of it. They aren't the largest of it, but probably they're one of the most talked about. They have been challenging some of the biggies over there. And you know what their entire corporate culture is? They have a phrase which they have copyrighted called fanatic customer service. classic is the phrase that they own. There are folklores. So if any of you have been interested in retail, there's this brand called Nordstrom, which has got legendary customer service. People have stories of, even if you might have not bought it from there, you have walked in, they would have exchanged products and stuff like that. That's kind of, Rackspace has been actually, creating its own folklore. For an entrepreneur who is not as old as many of the other players operating in this field. So they're known to be, ordering for pizza if a customer support guy feels that the guy at the client